Look closely at the mummified faces preserved across 4 millennia of shifting desert sands. Long before the rise of modern dermatology or clinical dentistry, these people lived under a brutal sun with teeth ground raw by desert grit and eyes assaulted by blinding glare. Yet, their civilization waged a relentless, calculated war against bodily decay. To them, foul odors and physical neglect were not merely unpleasant. They were manifestations of cosmic chaos, a direct threat to the universe's delicate balance. What secrets did ancient Egyptian chemists discover in their pursuit of immortal purity that modern science is only now beginning to comprehend? The Nile provided life, but its sands brought silent agony. Every loaf of bread baked in ancient hearths carried invisible grit from sandstone quernstones, methodically grinding human tooth enamel down to exposed, throbbing nerves. Abscesses and fatal oral infections plagued paupers and pharaohs alike. Yet, in the face of excruciating pain, these ancient people did not surrender. They innovated. Medical papyri like the Ebers text reveal humanity's earliest recorded dental prescriptions, abrasive mixtures of powdered ox hooves, ashes, burnt eggshells, and porous pumice. By the 4th century, their chemical mastery reached a sophisticated peak. A refined tooth powder combining rock salt, dried mint, cracked pepper, and powdered iris root. Modern microbiology reveals why this worked. The dried iris root, or ories, contains potent natural anti-inflammatory compounds that actively suppress periodontal pathogens. They crafted chew sticks with frayed botanical fibers to strip away plaque, and simmered cinnamon, frankincense, and myrrh with wild honey into small, slow-dissolving breath lozenges. They transformed an agonizing biological vulnerability into structured clinical care. But dental hygiene was only their first line of defense. An even deadlier threat lurked in the desert sunlight, waiting to strike their eyes. Look into the painted gaze of Queen Nefertiti. The hypnotic, jet-black lines framing her eyes are instantly recognizable worldwide. But this iconic look was never merely vanity. In the scorching expanse of North Africa, intense sunlight reflected violently off the desert floor. To survive it, Egyptians coated their eyelids with kohl, a thick paste made from crushed galena, a natural lead sulfide mineral. Much like modern athletes smearing dark grease beneath their eyes, this pigment absorbed blinding glare. Yet, the chemistry ran far deeper. They also ground bright green malachite, a copper carbonate ore, into an antiseptic eye wash. Recent biochemical analyses reveal that these mineral compounds stimulated the local immune system, producing nitric oxide to neutralize lethal bacterial infections carried by Nile flies and seasonal dust storms. Rich elites applied their pigments with polished ivory wands from alabaster jars, while commoners used simple wooden sticks and clay pots. Across gender and class, everyone painted their faces. But mineral protection on the eyes was only part of their daily armor. Beneath their linen robes, an even more sophisticated sanitation infrastructure governed their daily lives. Step inside the noble quarters of ancient Amarna, built over 3,000 years ago, and you encounter an engineering marvel long before modern indoor plumbing: dedicated shower rooms. Here, limestone slabs with chiseled drainage channels carried wastewater away through subterranean outlets. Servants poured fresh water from above, cascading down stone stalls designed for daily ritual purification. But personal cleanliness extended far beyond royal villas. Common households utilized portable basins and mass-produced foot baths to strip away the desert dust. To clean their snow-white linen garments, specialized laundrymen labored along the dangerous banks of the Nile, beating fibers against flat rocks with wooden batons while keeping a watchful eye on lurking crocodiles. They treated fabrics with natron, a natural mineral salt of sodium carbonate, and wood ash. Yet, their chemical ingenuity went one step further. By synthesizing natron and alkaline ashes with animal tallow and vegetable oils, Egyptian artisans invented humanity's earliest known functional lipid soaps. They used these raw chemical mixtures not only to strip grime from skin, but to treat skin diseases and prevent infection. But this obsessive hygiene was merely a foundation for something even more decadent: an ancient mastery of skincare and youth preservation. Under the scorching sun of North Africa, hydration was a vital line of defense. The Egyptian elite lived by a clear principle: cleanse, treat, and moisturize. Legend speaks of Queen Cleopatra immersing herself in fresh donkey milk. Modern dermatology confirms the science behind the myth. Milk is rich in lactic acid. a natural alpha-hydroxy acid that gently breaks chemical bonds between dead skin cells, promoting rapid tissue regeneration. Nile River silt was harvested from mineral-rich clay masks that drew impurities directly from pores. Queen Nefertiti favored black seed oil, a potent botanical extract known today to soothe chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. To shield exposed skin from ultraviolet radiation, they layered cold-pressed moringa, sesame oil, and rich shea butter. Complete body hair removal was also essential. They pioneered sugaring, a molten blend of honey and lemon applied to strip hair clean from the follicle. If you find these ancient skincare breakthroughs as ingenious as modern dermatology, press 1 in the comments below. Yet, while they achieved mastery over the skin, a bizarre cosmetic practice on their heads remained an enigma for centuries. Look at the elaborate wigs preserved in museum vaults. Beneath them, human vanity clashed violently with harsh biology. Lice infested living quarters, prompting nobility to shave their heads completely, while hair loss remained an agonizing social fear. The Ebers Papyrus reveals desperate concoctions: boiled porcupine quills or blended fats of hippopotamus, crocodile, and desert ibex massaged into barren scalps. But the deepest archaeological enigma sat perched atop painted Egyptian heads in tomb art: enigmatic, cream-colored cones. For over a century, scholars assumed these were solid blocks of perfumed animal fat that melted under banqueting heat, dripping fragrant oils over wigs. But in 2019, bioarchaeologist Anna Stevens excavated non-elite burials at Amarna and unearthed the first physical specimens. Spectroscopic analysis shattered the century-old myth. The cones contained no melted fat traces on the preserved hair or skulls below. They were hollow, lightweight structures fashioned from pure beeswax and linen. Rather than simple ancient deodorant, they were sacred symbolic conduits intended to guarantee rebirth, fertility, and divine favor in the underworld. Every cosmetic ritual, from mundane grooming to mystical burial preparation, pointed toward a singular truth that echoes into our present day. When we trace the lineage of human innovation, we often look to the Industrial Revolution or the rise of modern laboratories. Yet, the foundational chemistry of daily survival was forged thousands of years ago in the black, fertile soils of the Nile. The ancient name for this civilization was Kemet, meaning the Black Land. Through Greek and Arabic scholarship, Kemet transformed into alchemia, which ultimately gave birth to our modern word, chemistry. These early practitioners were not dabbling in crude superstition. They were systematically manipulating mineral compounds, botanical oils, and biological enzymes to conquer environmental brutality. Every morning when you brush your teeth with a foaming paste, apply sunscreen to block ultraviolet rays, or soothe your skin with natural emollients, you are participating in a ritual engineered by ancient desert minds. They recognize that the human body is fragile, constantly under siege from microscopic pathogens, blinding sun, and relentless decay. Their obsession with hygiene was not vanity, but a profound declaration of human order against universal chaos. Which of these ancient innovations surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to keep uncovering the lost genius of humanity's past.